Welcome back to you all. I'm so glad to be talking to you. I shouldn't be saying welcome back to you. You've been here. God bless you. Back from a little time off. Thank you so much for being part of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Right here from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Took a little time away. That has now ended. The day back when you're kind of trying to merge into traffic of the day, of getting back to, what is the norm? One of the oddest things, getting more odd to do that. It's odd going from the daily routine and then into the not daily routine. When you go from working all the time, whatever it is you may do, and then suddenly you have time off. Suddenly, you don't have anywhere to be. You don't have anything to get done. It's one of the greatest things in the world. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to actually, like what the Queen of the Forest and I did, going to a faraway place and literally nothing to do other than see people and, stuff you do when you're not working is ridiculous. And we leaned into that so much so that when we're driving around in the traffic, and I'll get to more of what the traffic in California, Jesus. I think I was probably the only person on the road who didn't have any stress. So I was taking it all in the Southern California traffic. And it's a new place, so I'm kind of like, it's just kind of cool to be part of it. I didn't have any pressure or anything like that. So that was unique. And then conversely, getting back into it when we arrived back here in snowy West Michigan, cold West Michigan. And then we got in very, very late Monday night / Tuesday morning. We got into the car in the parking lot at the airport at 11:52. A day of travel that began at 1:35 p.m. Pacific time on Monday. Fly to Minneapolis, short layover, off we go. Picking up those hours in the time zones, which just is, my God. It shouldn't be that you start travel at 1:35 and then it's midnight when you actually are done traveling. Holy shit. When we're flying out there, it's interesting because, it's, from Michigan to Phoenix was 4 hours. And then you get 2 of those hours back. And then Diana sends a text to the group text. Yeah, we're here. And Diana says, it only took us 2 hours to get to Phoenix. And I'm like, and Jackie realized what the fuck she was doing, and I realized it right away. And I go, no, it didn't. It took precisely double that. It was a 4-hour plane ride. I watched an entire series on Netflix about the mob. What? It says, I go, yeah, you're not taking into account the time zones. We gained 2 hours. You know how that works? Have you heard of time zones before? So silly. Oh, yeah. Okay. We land to start the trip, and I've got a lot of stories sprinkled in. I actually take notes of the shit, of things that went on. We're tired because when we land, it's probably, close to 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, California time, which is roughly 1:32 a.m. Michigan time. And that is way past my bedtime. I may, if I'm up past 8:30, 9 o'clock Michigan time, that's a problem. So we're punchy. We are punchy. Now, I want you to know that the entire time I was there, there was only one time when I was mildly agitated, and this moment was not it. When we're getting the rental car, it wasn't until later on in that after we got dropped off at our place that we're staying that I started to panic about something. But other than that, no panic whatsoever, and no panic here either. Others, there was plenty of panic. We're in line at the place to get the rental car. Now, all this shit is taken care of. All we got to do is show your ID. Here's your keys. Get the fuck out. And there's a lot of people in line, all right? And at the rental car place. And I noticed that with like 20 people in line, there's one person working at the counter. One! And the guy at the counter is pissed off. The customer is pissed off, and he can't believe it. He's incredulous. He's blown away and disgusted, busted and disgusted. Next person comes up. Same thing, disgusted, furious. I can't figure out what's going on. Everyone's disgusted because it's taking so long. But again, I'm just like, oh boy, whatever. Looking at my phone, picking my ass, don't care, whatever. I'm going to get to my hotel. I'm going to go to bed, and that's the end of it. If these people want to get pissed off, that's entirely up to them. A couple more workers show up, and they're like, oh, hey, come on, next in line. And we go, oh, good. Now everything's fixed. They came back from break. I see another guy on the other counter, and he's getting pissed off. Another customer said, everybody's getting pissed. Worker waves me over. It's my turn. I'm standing in line, or I was being waited on by another employee, and the guy to my left is the dude who's the most pissed off. I mean, he is bitching. Now, I've never I couldn't tell you all the Seinfeld episodes, but every person I told the story to said, this is a Seinfeld episode. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of Seinfeld, but I couldn't quote you shows. But a lot of people could because of the popularity of that show over the years. Every person I talked to said, this is a Seinfeld episode, what you're telling us. So I'll have to take your word for it. Because the lady there, she goes, we don't have any cars. It's a 2-hour wait till you can get a car. Oh, wait a minute, you don't have any cars. This is a rental car place. I actually didn't say it like that. I remained annoyingly cool. Diana and I didn't speak, but I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't have rental cars. She goes, we're behind. We have none prepared. It's going to be 2 hours. You can sit over there and wait. So I did not react. I just sat there. And right away, I started to embrace the idea that this was happening. So then I'm like, okay, no problem, man. I'll call an Uber. Our place is 8 miles away. No big deal. She goes, that's a good idea. Go back, get some sleep, come back tomorrow, hopefully before 10 a.m. I'm like, oh, my God, what? And she says, just come get the car. That's it. That's all you got to do. I go, no problem, ma'am. That's what we're going to do. And then she had her, like, guard up during all of that. She had the ready to kick the fuck out of me if I started to get lippy like the guy next to me. The guy next to me is giving shit to this dude who looks more like a yes, sir, beta male type of guy. That was not her, and I could sense it. This woman was not to be fucked with. She was going to kick my ass if I decided to get, a little loose in the turns with her. And I just wasn't up for it. I'm tired of going, She goes, no. She goes, there's no. She's expecting me to flip out. But where I think I made her moist was when I said, hey, what can you do, ma'am? It's no big deal. No big deal at all. And she was putty. She was putty in my hands. So that's about that. I then walked out. Called the Uber. Cost me $13 to get to the place. It's late, very, very late. Guy drops us off. Now, what's going on here is the community of Venice. I don't know anything about the community of Venice. All I know is that my pal Jeffrey, the dude who I gave the kidney to, lives 2 miles from where we're staying. It's absolutely perfect. Now, he's described Venice Beach, Venice, as gritty. Now, to me, gritty is like Detroit, okay? So I go, whatever, I can do gritty. I don't care. As long as, this is what we did. We took a look at the pictures of the place we're staying, the inside of it. I go, that's good enough. It's a little bit, it is gritty, but it's weird because it's sporadic grit. And the grit is the amount of homeless people. I look out the window of the place and I'm drinking a cup of coffee and I am looking at a homeless encampment. And that is what California is these days in a lot of places that have been stamped with grit approval. If you have an area that is grit intensive, you can apparently get a grit permit and set up your homeless encampment. So that's what happens. And so there, on Venice Boulevard, there's it's one way and then a median, and then the rest of the lanes going the other way. It's like a boulevard. And it is a boulevard. The median there is where the encampment is. The length of the road. All the way to like the beach. While I'm driving around, this is a big deal to the people in Los Angeles County because communities have been overrun with homelessness. And they have a new mayor there named Karen Bass, who's been in office for about 70 days. And her and the county council, I guess, are working together trying to solve this problem. Well, one of the things that's in place is there's been a law on the books near the beaches and any park that there cannot be a homeless encampment within like 500 yards or 1,000 yards or something like that. But you had a very sympathetic council person who was upholding the enforcement of that law. Laws existed. You can't do that. But they're like this bleeding heart type of person was like, oh, no, these people must be able to do whatever they want. And so there's a clip that's going around on Los Angeles radio when I was there, and his radio station that I kind of fell in love with. It's a news station, 97.1. And there's some guy who's like, it's remarkable that one of the reasons why people visit a place like the beaches and our parks, one of the main things people are drawn to are now considered places you do not want to take your family to. And I couldn't agree more. You know, that's real shit. I mean, I understand. I'm not saying that I have the answer, but at the very least, can we make it so that you can go down to the fucking beach, get yourself an airbrush t-shirt, maybe a temporary tattoo, a corn dog, and go hang out on the beach. I don't know, whatever. Because the way it is in Venice is you've got like Muscle Beach where these fucking people are like pumping iron on the beach, all these narcissistic assholes. And then you got these giant paddleball courts. It's great. People having a great time, and there's shops. You walk along, and then there's a guy taking a shit on a beagle or something like that. And it's like, fuck, this is just wrong. So anyway, this mayor, this Karen Bass, it so happens that while we were there, and she ran on a platform where she said, in 1 year, I will have homes for all of the homeless. Now, in particular, in the area of downtown Los Angeles, there is a 1 square mile area that is actually known as Skid Row. And if you were to look it up, Skid Row images, it's what you would picture something that's named as Skid Row. What I saw looking outside of my window in Venice is, a blip compared to Skid Row, where the area's homeless live. There's almost 5,000 homeless people, tents, sleeping on the ground, many of them addicted to drugs, drug-induced psychosis, schizophrenia, horrible, life expectancy in the encampment is like 35 years old. It's rough. It's the roughest. It's the largest homeless population in the United States. So while I'm driving around, getting nowhere fast in the traffic, I'm listening to what's developing. And it's just fucking incredible to me because I like to consider myself someone who's like, well, maybe in my own brain I can solve a problem. And what would you do, Eric, if you were in this situation, if you were running the city? And I don't have an answer. But this mayor has decided to, she has a program. She ran on this. She says, in 1 year, everybody's going to have housing. And I'm calling it Inside Safe. We are going to do this, and people are going to have a place to live. So people are like, all right. Now, the community has been paying for 4 years through their state income taxes to fund this. 4 years, and there's a lot of people there that make a lot of money. So there's a pile of money that they've been sitting on. And not a dime has been spent to, put something in motion. What are you going to do? You got all this fucking cash. God help you if it's missing. But so they have the money. The taxpayers pay for it, but nothing's been done. Well, no, something has been done because according to the news stories, they started on Skid Row. There's it was described as, and I haven't even taken a look at it. I didn't drive through this area, but on one side of one street, on the early morning hours of whatever day that we were there, a garbage truck pulls up, and then they go walking up to a tent. And they go, "Hey, boom, 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 boom. Get the fuck out!" The guy stumbles out, and they grab his tent and throw it in the trash. And then they go, "Yeah, fuck you." And then they go to the next one. And then where that tent was, there's a guy with a pressure washer. I'm not kidding you. Spraying the disease and the shit off the cement. He goes, "Fuck you, get out of here." And they rip these people have belongings that they've had given to them, or maybe garbage picked or something like that. And then there's one chick who's who's in charge of the entire Skid Row. And she's been a fixture in the community for 30 years. She's lived there for that long. And she's like Mama Humongous or something like that from Road Warrior. And she's like, I don't have anything now. I had a heater here. I had a place to sleep. And they're like, "Well, don't you want to go inside?" And she goes, "That won't work. It'll never work. They've tried it before." No, they're like, wow, it's like a tightly knit community of homeless people. So this had nothing to do with what the mayor ran on. So people are like, "Wait a minute, huh? What are you doing? I thought these people were going to," now they, okay, it's bad enough that they were homeless but at least they had a place to lie down. And now they just threw all their shit away. So I'm guessing that the next step is that this mayor is going to pull up buses and say, yeah, you're going to your new home, and then drive them to Bakersfield or some shit and say, get the fuck out of here. Fuck. This is turning out to be a mess. Homelessness everywhere. My God. But I totally digressed because after we got into the Uber and they dropped us off at our place in Venice, what people do there, property owners, is they buy what was one house, and then they work with contractors, got the entire thing, and retrofit the home to be 4 or 5 separate places to stay. They call them bungalows. And so you walk into a door where when this home was built, it didn't have a door in this spot, but now they have doors all the way around the damn thing. So what was one house is now 5 rooms for people to stay. And it's sweet, man. It's old as hell, but it's painted in these nice, bright retro colors. And it looked to be a great place. And it was. It was. I'm not complaining about any of that. In fact, I'm not complaining about any of this. I loved where we were staying. I loved the culture. I loved being close to the grit because that's kind of how I roll. And I'm good with anything. And, yeah, it was fine. But we get to the place, and it's 2 structures. One is 2-story, one is 1-story. On the confirmation email, it says you will be in the 1-story structure. To get into the gate, because there's a gate all the way around it. And it's electronic lock. Hit the code. Go in. Now we're into this area. So the 2 properties are surrounded by a gate. And Uber guy drops us off. Pitch black. I go, okay, I think it's the one, because it says, of the 2 buildings, one's 2-story, one's 1-story, you're in the 1-story building. I go, okay, great. I'm trying to be quiet because in case people sleeping, and I'm sure there were other residents, people staying on their trip. And I got my suitcase rolling along, and Dinah's got hers. And on the side of the building, it says 1A, 1B, 1C, and there's an arrow. So we have to go in between the house and the fence along this perimeter of this house. And we're in 1B. We pass 1A. We're all walking along the side of the house, and there's a door facing us that says 1C. 1A to 1C. And all I see is one door facing me. So it's like the length of the house, and then facing me, though, is 1C. So past 1A, made a left-hand turn, length of the house, 1C at the end is a door with 1C right there. Go, well, where the fuck's 1B? And this is 1B will be in the middle. Yes, 1B should be between 1A and 1C. There is no 1B. Go back, retrace our steps. What the fuck is it? Now, each of the bungalow doors has another code. It's the last 4 digits of your phone number or some shit. So we're looking around. And then very quick, because I'm tired. I don't think straight when I'm tired, nor does Dinah. And right away, I start thinking, we've been scammed. This is an absolute scam. It's a catfish scam. We're probably being laughed at by a bunch of fucking idiots who are watching on closed circuit in their tent down the street. And I'm like, what the fuck? We cannot. I go, all right, start over. Read the email again, the whole email. It's the same thing I just told you. And I go, I cannot find this. So then I started walking along the length of the house to 1C. And I passed by a window where the blinds are open and the lights are on. Okay? And I go, oh, fuck. And I like duck down because I'm thinking someone's in there. They're going to see me and call the fucking cops. It's another resident of this fucking place we're staying. Like, holy shit. I fucking duck down. I get the fuck out of there. I go, holy shit. I go, Dad, there's someone in that room. If they see us, we're fucking dead. We're going to be answering questions by the cops. It's going to be ridiculous. So then I even wander over to the 2-story building, and now it's like, 2A, 2C, too big. No, it doesn't. I go, well, maybe it's a misprint. So I go to the keypad of each of these doors, and I hit the code, the last 4 digits of our phone number. Nothing. So people inside are hearing beep, 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 beep. Nobody opened the door, though. No one, I don't know. If someone may not have been in that room, they may have. I don't know. But I'm worried. Time's passed. 10, 15 minutes walking around. I go back to where I saw the lights in that window. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to be directly in front of it in case whoever is in there sees me. And Diana inches her way down to where I am. She hasn't been down to this area yet, okay? She's only taken my word for it. And she goes, you asshole. I go, what? It's right there. It says 1B right there. Right next to the window where you thought someone was in there. That's our room, you dick. I go, oh. Okay. When I looked down and I saw 1C facing me, flush is 1B. I can't see it. It never occurred to me. I don't know how I missed this. I'm trying to give you an excuse, but I don't fucking have one. I don't know how I missed this. Holy fuck. Extended time wondering where the fuck I was. I cannot believe I'm going, oh my God, this is so bad. Oh, what a terrible feeling that was. Instant relief. 8683, door opens up. We go in. It was the room that I thought there was someone in looking at me. That was my room. Oh, what a bad feeling that was. Jesus. All right. At that time, I didn't know I was close to the homeless encampment. But we absolutely got lost walking around that place again and again and again. Holy crap. Jesus, as soon as that happened, Chris says, were you still hauling the luggage around? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Amanda says, is it an Airbnb? No, it wasn't an Airbnb. It's actually owned by a, I guess they rent bungalow. It's called Bungalows 444 or something like that. Whew. That was something. My God. So glad to have you all in here enjoying the podcast. I've missed you. I really have. When I'm away, I get anxious. You know? Like, what's going on? Are you giving them something to listen to? Something else to listen to? Oh, I hope not. Hope you enjoyed the Not the Best of the Eric Zane Show podcast. And for folks on Patreon, I gave you special material while I'm away. Shh. All right. Let's see. I've got some more highlights. I jumped in the car after I got the rental car. I went out to get like a coffee or something like that. I hadn't yet realized how sketch it was in Venice. And then I talked about this in a Facebook Live video yesterday. There was a man, looked to be about 6'1", 6'2". He had on it was a sweatshirt or what. It was a little chilly for most of the time we were there, especially in the morning, talking like 40 degrees. And this guy's walking, and he had like a sweatshirt on, and he's walking very aggressively and almost swinging his arms like someone who's exaggerating that they're gay. A man. I'm really going to walk like he's walking like a runway model, perhaps. Enormous hair, afro, little bit gnarly looking, and colored underwear, but not covering his penis or his ass. Like sometimes they get twisted almost so they're like a rope around your knees, or in this case, just above the knees. He's able to take large strides despite the fact that the underwear is down, almost like corralling his legs, which would trip a normal man. But so nothing covering his ass and huge, swinging violently penis. Very large. A big, big dick.
Let's got the big black dick because I know you want to.
This guy was huge. And I'm like, okay. Now that gave me the first gigantic clue. Because, actually I did see some homelessness. But I was like, well, that's Southern California for you. I know homelessness is an issue. But then I was like, well, all right. Okay, this is the way it's going to be. We're going to be so fucked up. We're going to just be showing everybody our cock. Jeffrey, my pal Jeffrey, he's making me food recommendations. Now, when it comes to some things were similar, some things were not. He made me some food recommendations. And he said, oh, man, you got to go eat at the Rose. It's fantastic. It's just the nicest place. You're going to love the Rose. Great place for breakfast, man. I go, all right. So we drive over there. Walk in. And there's someone in front of us. She goes, how many? It's a hostess. And there's all sorts of art on the wall and he goes, 2. And she says, did you have a reservation? No, it's fucking 9:30 and there's no one there. And she says, well, you'll have to give me your number. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So that was weird. And then I looked at the prices, and it was ridiculous. That breakfast would have cost us, I am not kidding you, $75. So I'm like, oh! Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. And then we went to McDonald's. I go, now this is what I'm talking about. This is where I align with grit. And where I was between Venice and this area called, I think it's Marina del Rey. And so it's closer to Venice, though. So we're still in kind of, it got a high level of grit. And I know that because while we're eating, there was 2 homeless guys in there. And then Diana leans in to say something. I go, don't do it. I go, don't lean in because whoever you're going to talk about knows you're going to be talking about them. And if they look, they might see you. So just say what you need to say. She goes, that man's ass I am eating this burrito and fully looking at that man's ass. This is the second ass I've seen. I turn and the homeless dude who's seated at the bench, motherfucker, his pants were just about off. You could see so much crack. It's like, you got to work to get your pants that far off. It was incredible. I go, yes. This is fucking great. Now, I know. You're like, Jesus, Eric, you're telling us all the bad shit. Well, of course. The bad shit is more entertaining than the good shit. I mean, I can't really get into depth and talk about how much fun I had with my cousin. Well, no, I can. There was something that's funny worth talking about, but I'm not done yet because I think there was more ass that we saw. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. No, I told you about the black guy. I told you about the guy at the McDonald's. But at one point, I went to Walgreens, and I go walking up, and there's a guy with one shoe on, one shoe off, right at the entrance, sitting there, and he looked wasted. I go walk in there, and then one lady that works there is waiting on me, and the other one is right behind me, and they're having a conversation. They said, well, yeah, I know. I told him to leave. Is that the guy who? Yeah, that's the guy. Apparently, they were talking about how at one point this guy came in and broke a bottle on the floor, and he wouldn't leave, and he was scaring them. It's that guy. And they had already asked him to leave once. So I'm standing there, and this is what she says. She goes, yeah, I know. I'm worried too. And so I'm ringing up my whatever. And she goes, and it's just us two girls here alone. No guys to help us. She actually said that. I go, well, if that isn't a cue, I don't know what the fuck is. So at that point, he walks in. The guy walks in. And so I was like, well, she's asking me, so that means I guess it's my turn to get involved. Of course. I go, you want me to get him out of here? And she goes, no. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yes, you do. You just said it's just us girls and no guy to help us. What the you want me to grab that motherfucker and throw him out? Now, I don't want to do that, but I will. I go, you want me to get him out of here? And she says, no. I go, well, okay, then don't hesitate to call the police. She goes, we won't, sir. Thank you. I go, okay. And then I left. I got the fuck out of there. Shortly after, Diana and I come back. The chicks are still there. We had something else to get. Chicks are still there. Everything's fine. As we're walking in, that guy comes walking out. But he, I swear to God, is walking backwards. He's walking out of the store backwards. I'm like, is this Inception? What's that other movie? Tenet? It's Tenet. Another Christopher Nolan thing. Tenet. He's looking back over his shoulder and walking backwards. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I go, Dinah, we are having, it's like dinner and a show. The whole day is dotted with these amazing entertaining things. We need to move here. Show business, the heart of show business is Los Angeles, California. Southern California. This is why Rogan did his podcast there. I'm sitting here now 41 minutes into the show, and I'm just telling you about the first day. We need to take the show to Southern California. He's walking backwards. Diana and I watch him go right in front of our car. And I remember he was like, he looked like he was jacked to some degree, like he was muscular. This guy might be a former NFL player. He might even play for the Rams. You don't know. And then he walks backwards all the way around the corner. And then we see him again. He's still walking backwards. He stops, picks up a pizza box. I'm watching him. Walks. It's an empty pizza box. Walks about 5 steps backwards with the pizza box, sets it down. There's an empty cup with a straw in it. He picks it up, sets it next to the pizza box like it's someone's order, and then just continues on down the road. Backwards. My God. Amazing. Whew. You may have seen we did the walk up to the Hollywood sign. That was great. Saw a coyote. I guess they're everywhere. Some guy tried to pull an Eric Zane and walk up to the coyote. I'm like, oh boy. Everybody get your cameras ready. We're about to see a guy get his nuts bit off. That hike was no joke. It was ridiculously steep at points. And then about nearly 1/2 of the way to the Hollywood sign, I felt it and realized that I was in great jeopardy of having to shit outside onto a cactus. And I don't feel good. I go, this is going to be a close one. So right away, I'm planning my escape. I'm like, okay, now I had a hoodie with me because at the bottom of the hill, it was chilly. And then after walking, I take the hoodie off. I'll go into the woods. I'll take off my T-shirt. I'll wipe my ass with my T-shirt and put the hoodie on. And she's just laughing at me. I go, okay, I think that's my plan B. Plan A is get down to the bottom of the hill here and get to a bathroom. Get up the hill. Take the nice pictures. Don't feel good. Start going down the hill. The whole walk is 2 hours. We're about an hour and 10 minutes in, 50 minutes down. 5-0. And I made it. I did make it. But, man, I was freaking out. Saw the coyote, got to the car at the trailhead, potties. Awesome. Off we go. Diana says, oh, I got something we got to see now because we had a little time to kill. She goes, we got to go to Hollywood Boulevard and see. We got to see all the stars in the Walk of Fame. All the big names are there. In fact, Ice-T. They just put Ice-T on the Walk of Fame. He might even be there. Maybe we can see Ice-T. I go, okay. I go, I've heard bad things about Hollywood Boulevard, though. I heard it's what do you mean? And that's where all the stars hang out. I go, I don't think they do. I go, I think it's a fucking shithole. What are you talking about? It's the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I go, well, I know what it is, but I think even the tourists, those are usually terrible people, they don't even go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. We get there. And there's 1 million open parking spots. Now, like I said, I can do grit, but this place is a shithole. That was right. And there's no tourists. Everything is greasy and disgusting on Hollywood Boulevard. It's absolute shit. We're walking along. It smells like piss. Some guy whacked out of his mind, I'm not kidding you, is in a fight with a tree. He's kicking a tree. Not hard, but he's like practicing light strikes jiu-jitsu on a tree. And then he sees us coming. He stops, and there's a fire spigot coming out of the side of a building, cast iron. He starts kicking that. Okay, this goes on for about 150 yards. I said, I am not comfortable here, and I do not want to be here. There is nothing to see here. There is nothing we should buy from here. Let's go anywhere but here. Yeah, you're right. I think this was a bad idea. Oh, fuck. More time to kill. Get in the car. It's probably 12 miles from Hollywood Boulevard to the ocean. Santa Monica Pier. I hit the nav. It is 54 minutes to get from Hollywood Boulevard to the Santa Monica Pier. 12 miles. This was a recurring thing. If you want to get anywhere in this entire area, hour or more. If you travel 15 miles to work to and from during rush, you are looking at on an average of about 2 hours of driving a day for 30 minutes of travel. No joke. No matter where you go, it's ridiculous. In a lot of ways, and a lot of times I could run as fast. That's how ridiculous traffic is there. Oh my God. I even put down the phone when I was driving. You know? Usually my best reading of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok is when I'm driving. Not in LA, though. Fuck no. Jesus. Get to Santa Monica. Not much grit, but some grit. Not like Venice. A little bit, but not bad. We go over to the pier, Walk around, people watching. That's all we're doing, looking at people. Look over down at the surf. I see a shark. I actually saw a shark in the water. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, there's a shark. Holy shit, it's awesome. Fucking so cool. Make our way back. That was kind of like what it was. Saw some family. Now, I went to the Armenian restaurant. Well, it's not Armenian, it's Persian, but pretty much what Armenians eat. In Glendale, California is, like I've indicated to you, the largest collection of Armenians in one place. So went into Rafi's place and just ate like kings. Absolutely awesome. Oh my God. Love it. But the problem was my cousin Mary, she canceled on me. I get all the way there and she had to cancel on Friday morning. I was like, or Thursday morning. I'm like, holy fuck. I came. Oh, Jesus, whatever. She, one of her employees, she has a couple of stores, packaging and shipping businesses. One of her employees at a store she has in Las Vegas, because she has one there too, had a stroke. So the poor thing had to go and like comfort and cover at the same time. So everything was fucked up. So I said, no problem. Don't even worry about it. We'll be back. I'm just going to go to Rafi's without you. Sorry you can't make it. I'll see you next time. So that cleared out our schedule. And then my brother Jim was supposed to meet us out there so we could go hang out with his daughter who lives there, Emily. And he canceled. So everybody's dropping like flies. So I'm supposed to go over to my cousin's house. I have a lot of cousins out there. I'll get to that in a second. I need to go potty. So I got to... there's no way I'm going to get what I wanted to do done today on this show. First off, for those of you getting the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I am about to kick you out. I still have an hour and 10 minutes of show left. So do yourself a favor if you like this and get on over to Twitch. That way you can see the rest of today's show and subsequent shows in their entirety. I'm pushing my traffic over to Twitch as best that I can. So you're like, I don't know that. That's new. What's that? It's not. And it's easy. If you can go onto Facebook, you can go onto Twitch. If you're on your mobile device, just download the Twitch app, TWITCH. After you download it, search Eric Zane Live and follow. Give yourself a username so that you can participate in the chat. That's it. If you're on a computer, laptop, desktop, whatever it may be, just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live and do all that other stuff. While you're there, in addition to follow, subscribe with your Amazon Prime account. You can't miss it. It says Twitch Prime as a red button. Hit it. It's big. And then link up your Amazon Prime account. When you link up the Amazon Prime account, you get the show without any commercial interruptions during the show. Everybody gets one to start, but you won't get any during. Otherwise, just sit through the commercials. No big deal. Twitch puts those in because that's how I basically pay for the platform. You sitting through those commercials. But if you want to skip those commercials, link it up with your Twitch Prime or link it up with Amazon Prime. It's called Twitch Prime. And you have to do that every month on your own. You got to do it. It doesn't do it automatically. If you don't have Amazon Prime, I think there's a way you can throw a few bucks at it. I think it's like $5.99 a month. But if not, fuck it. Don't worry about it. Just sit through the commercials. Either way, I'm happy. I'm just glad you're here. All right. So there's that. You can always email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com, on the Shoreliner Striping inbox when you want to talk. Send me an email and I'll chit-chat with you. The audio podcast is available for download on all podcasting platforms. Shortly after I get this done, I'll make the audio available for you. Subscribe, rate, review the podcast if your platform allows those things. All of them allow you to subscribe. Not all of them allow you to rate and review, but throw one at me, what you think of the show. I'd love to hear it. Okay, is that it? Oh, it's been a little while since I've done this. Old habits. Got to bring them back. Okay. So I'll kick you folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube out now. Thank you so much for being here, though, to check this out.